This book means a lot to me because it's my baby, and you know we all love our firstborn. Before I do any readings, I would like to make a couple announcements. Um, the end of January, I don't know if you guys who are on Facebook or Twitter with me heard me talking about Too Young, my memoir. But that was supposed to be out first before this book. But I decided to put this one first for a lot of different reasons. Too Young is ready. It has been sent to the publisher and will be available January 27th. You can order that one online. I won't be having a book signing for that one. I will be having a book signing in April for my first work of fiction, which is called Secrets. I'm in love with that book. I've only gotten about 8 or 9 chapters written, but I'll tell you, like, I like reading it. I already know how it's going to end, but I like reading it. So I definitely, if you didn't sign up on the mailing list, I definitely, before you leave, definitely do so you guys can keep up to that for that book signing, because I'm telling you, that book is juicy, really, really good. um, yeah, so as far as like all the other books, if you, well, actually, I think everyone did get a book, so yeah, or so. If you did not get a copy of After the Silence, you can order it from my website, melthewriter.webs.com. You can also go on that website and get t-shirts, buttons, pins, mugs, doggy outfits, and different types of logos and everything. Team Mel, all the way. I love Mel. Um, After the Silence, a lot of different, things I have on there. You can order it. For Christmas, I will be doing a discount. So you can just check the website. If you see something you want and you don't want to pay full price, a couple days later, it'll be like 25% off. You can do it, but keep checking because I get bored and throw stuff up there just for the sake of it. So, and I also do a blog on there. So you can go and check out my blog on melthewriter.webs.com. Once again, that was melthewriter.webs.com. Because if you, well, most of you guys read through it. This is a topic that is very close to me, and all too often we as people are very silent about it. Whether we know someone or we don't know someone, it's just not something that is talked about. You will talk about getting robbed. You'll talk about um, having your house, set on fire, getting beat up, being teased, bullied, anything like that. But this is like, this isn't even, we whisper about it. Um, so after the silence, there always, comes a big bang. And I hope this book will be part of a big bang. Um, yeah. So this book basically is a journal. Um, if you can see, like, it has a couple journal entries. It spans from November of '03 till about, actually 2009 is the last entry. And so it goes a very long period of time. This is actually things that I wrote in my own personal diary. These are my own personal feelings that I just basically went back, did a little editing and tweaking, and all very easy to do. Um, and the reason that I wanted to write this was basically because when I was going through a lot of things, I thought I was the only one. And I thought I was the only one that felt anger. Because I think, especially as women, we're not supposed to be angry. And especially as black women, we already have that stereotype. You're an angry black woman, so you try like, oh wait, I can't be angry because I don't want to be a stereotype. And I'm supposed to be a victim. The victims aren't, angry. Victims are sad, and victims fall into a corner and die. So I felt really guilty, me personally, I felt really guilty about a lot of anger. And you'll read about my anger, but you'll also read about me, stepping up and saying, "F all that bullshit. I'm a survivor. Like, that's not happening. You're not going to continue 10 years later affecting my life." So, and all the poems go from each stage of my survivor journey is what I call it. So the first piece I'm going to read is on page 6, if you want to follow along. So it is untitled. Most of the poems are untitled in this. I'm not really good with telling the titles, that's all. But it's untitled. And okay. This poem actually, I think, describes me how I've always been. I've always been a very positive, secret person about my personal life. Certain things, at least in my personal life. I'm usually very open, but when you really know me, I'm pretty private. So, my life will be the most unexpected story ever to be told. I'm somewhat a mystery that'll never unfold. Don't dig too deep, curiosity killed the cat. Don't love me too much, don't fall into my trap. Because when you really know me, there'll be no turning back. You'll be stuck either loving me or giving me sympathy. You might want to go, but you'll stay. A girl with a story like mine is enough to change your mind. So think before you decide to love me, because what you thought I was will be nothing close to me. Your small step will become a leap, and I don't want you to fall too deep. If you didn't want to be there in the first place, I keep my distance, keep my life on the shelf. My wisdom is my secret wealth. You think I'm not an open person, you think I don't want to share all the pain and hurt, all the tears and dirt, but it's not like that. I wish I could tell somebody, but I keep it to myself for the sake of others. There's no need for them to carry a burden that's already been dropped. There's no need to pity me when the pain has already stopped. It wouldn't be fair to put people in a position they don't want to be in, so I guess I'll keep it to myself. It's all a part of my living. And this is part of that anger that I was talking about. And it's okay, well, a survivor's revenge. Let me somehow climb this wall, then brick by brick I'll watch it fall. I'll build a castle of my own. Safely I'll stay in my tower and learn to sing my magic power. Survivor I am. He won't defeat me. He shall pay for every tear I cried, blood, fire, and sweet revenge at my side. Let the wrath of lightning strike and eliminate his light. The time has come to say goodbye. He will pay the price for his sins. I will call to suffering. Vengeance will be mine indeed. He shall pay for every tear I cried, blood, fire, hate, and revenge at my side. I shall avenge my wounded soul and conquer the scars that tore me apart. He shall know my pain is dear. My laugh will be the last thing he'll hear. I'll destroy all he held so dear, and I shall avenge my pain and conquer the thunder and pouring rain. And I shall stand strong and tall and watch him crash and fall. And like I said, that was a lot of anger. That was actually borderline anger and taking my life back. You know, and I think in any type of circumstances, you have to take your life back. You know, and just rising up and saying, you know what, I use a lot of profanity. I'm sorry. I'm me. I'm not cutting it out. I say fuck it. You know, like, I'm a survivor. I've always been a survivor. If you purchase Too Young, which will once again be out January 27th, available on melvinwriter.web.com, you'll see I've always been a survivor since I was 6 months and 1 day old. So, you know, that was kind of a combination of I'm ready to stop hiding, I'm ready to stop crying, I'm ready to stop being so depressed and so angry, and I'm going to take my life back. Of course, in the course of that, in that period of my life, I also went to kill and harm and everything. I obviously didn't. Either that or I had a really good lawyer. But Johnny Cochran was dead by then, so 30. And what I am an invocation, a spirit tattooed upon stone, full of blood, full and split. I'm the dark of every x-ray, I'm the bone that will remain. I'm primeval sin, medieval salt, pre-evil skin, post-evil halt, plain evil soul. I'm the demon you are all staying with and the angel you deny. I'm dignity in feline form, a dictatrix. I'm your host for the beyond and the questioning fight. I have been bred by the enemy, loved by the enemy, killed by the enemy, crucified, mesmerized, pacified, and now is a time of rebellion. So invoke me, invite me, insinuate, and coax me. Hold the labrie to the sky and be aware, for I am sapphic, stoic, specific. Actually, I took one last line out of that, and it's supposed to be I'm you. And now that I read it again, I actually thought that would have fit, but the time it didn't, so. And then you'll see after every few poems there is a journal entry which kind of describes what I'm going through when I wrote the poem and everything, and they're dated. So I will read the afterword, 2010. That's the last page, or one of the last pages, 32. After the Silence is a compilation of poetry and journal entries that I wrote during one of the darkest periods of my life. After being raped in November 2003, I fell into a deep, dark depression. Self-mutilation, suicide attempts, and self-harm were constant occurrences in my life. While I knew about the resources available to help me in the survival process, I felt too ashamed to reach out to them. I thought that my emotions of hurt and anger were strange and unacceptable. Ultimately, I did reach out for help, and through tons, and I do stress tons, of therapy, group support, and close friends, I've come to accept what happened to me. I've also learned to forgive not only my rapist, but myself. Too many times we, the victim, blame ourselves. Because of that blame, we close ourselves off from those who can help us along our journey from being victims to survivors. It is my hope that these poems and entries can help someone along the way. You are not alone, and there are people and programs to help you. I decided to share my journal entries and poetry after speaking to a friend and hearing of her story of survival. I asked myself, how many others? And I wondered by my silence, how many did I fail to protect and to help? I knew that I had to find a release for what happened to me, and for a long time, journaling and poetry was the only way to keep my voice, was for me to voice my emotions about what happened. Keeping silent only adds to the pain and prolongs the healing process. Sometimes the silence is just too loud. It is time to speak up, speak out. And for those who you did not know, I do offer a currently online support group. It's called Speak Up, Speak Out. You can find a link to that on melthewriter.webs.net.com, or you can go speakupspeakout.net. And hopefully soon, someday, we'll be moving to a closed, peer-based support group in person in the Philadelphia area. So thank you all for coming.
That's what I